What's going on, guys? Welcome back. For those that have been watching the channel for a while, you might notice I like to mispronounce a lot of things. On top of that, you probably don't see a lot of Cerebro guides here, and that's because, well, I'm not the smartest player in the game, all right? Far from it. Listen, in first grade, I got held back because I couldn't scribble. But when I want to dip my toe into the pool of knowledge, I like to turn to one of the more challenging archetypes in Snap, Cerebro. Now, today we're going to focus on Cerebro 2, my favorite of all the different options. And if you haven't tried or it's been a while, now is probably the easiest and best time to test out a deck full of flexible options, a surprising cube rate, and overall just extremely satisfying to play. Now, I assume you guys are a smart bunch, but we're going to cover a couple of fast facts for Cerebro if it's been a while, if you're dusting off the old brain here. And we're going to start with locations, all right? Write this down. They're gonna screw you, okay? There's so many locations that mess you up. We'll talk more on that later, but just get used to it, okay? On top of that, OTAs. Also gonna screw you. Your favorite card, that's 2 power, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. Doesn't matter. Glenn Jones doesn't care, and you probably shouldn't either. OTAs are gonna change your Cerebro decks on a constant basis. There's one coming up this Thursday. Expect some change. Other than that, you will screw you. And this is an important one because there's a lot of ways to fudge power in Cerebro. We're going to cover all the basics today. But if you can stomach all of that, you're in for a hell of a good time. Now, inspired by the recent release of White Widow into Marvel Snap, introducing Bro Widow, my take on Cerebro 2, and it legit has it all. So much so, guys, that it's actually hard to choose which 2 power cards to throw in the deck. And because of that, we're going to cover the different options that you can throw in there. Now, first up, guys, we've got the non-negotiables. These are the cards that I don't care if you hate, they need to go in the deck because they're that good in Cerebro 2. First up, we've got Cerebro. Because, yep, outside of that, we have Storm. That's probably my favorite option in the deck, and we'll talk more on this as well in a little bit. But Storm is probably the easiest way to net pretty quick cubes on Cerebro. I can't tell you how many times someone throws up even 10 power and they feel good against your Storm lane. We don't have to worry about that. We build up power later. Outside of that, Brood is also going to be an easy way to get not 1, but obviously 3 2-power cards, easily filling up a lane quickly, and it's just damn good in the deck. Usually you can count on that to win you a lane. Blue Marvel is the one that's a little head-scratching. Maybe you're new to Marvel Snap. He's a 3-power card. I know. You guys are smart. You guys are quick. 3 power doesn't matter. He's going to raise all the cards outside of himself +1, making the entire deck that much stronger. And then lastly, and this one's kind of in and out, but I would say Mystique is pretty much a non-negotiable, at least in Cerebro 2. And you can copy Cerebro, obviously. You can copy Mystique, and sometimes you can even copy a card in there. But those are going to be the main non-negotiables. Let's go ahead and talk about the other options that you have. Now, checking out this extensive list, these are going to be all the main options you're going to want to throw into a Cerebro 2 deck. Let's go ahead and start with the 1-cost cards I want to talk about. So first up, we have Elektra, who didn't see a lot of play and has gotten a buff here or there. Not a bad card right now, especially with White Widow. She can free up that lane and have the Widow's Kiss go down to -4. Really good synergy play. You're going to see that today. Outside of that, we have Iceman, just good ability in the game, and you can make them up to like a 1/7. Not a lot not to like there in Iceman. In Baku, this is one of the few places you get to play the Mad Wakandan. In fact, probably one of the more enjoyable cards. If you're just looking for fun and you suck at math anyway, you got to put in Baku in the deck. He's not in Bro Widow, but he's a good choice. Nightcrawler, probably one of the better options in general. We can't access Jeff. He costs too much. But Nightcrawler is a great way to fill up a lane quickly or move some big power to another lane, like the Storm lane or somewhere that you might need to. And then we have Echo as a good defensive measure, although I don't play her all too much in my own C2 decks, but definitely not so bad. Outside of that, we have Goose, who's almost a non-negotiable, just a great way to limit the opponent from maybe enchantressing your Cerebro or just popping down a Red Hulk in a lane that you need to stay under that 20 power. Mr. Sinister. These are all almost non-negotiables, but I want to give you guys the freedom of choice, or at least the illusion of it. Mr. Sinister, kind of like Brood, he's a 2 for 2, right? So you can get up 2 costs for essentially almost 14 power. If everything goes right, that's pretty damn crazy. Shadow King's the newest to arrive to Cerebro 2 after he did get his power reduced and his cost reduced. Really great, effective way to not only help yourself if some location or something happens that gives your cards power, but on top of that, you can also obviously use him as one of our only defensive tools in the deck. White Widow is our newest card and truly is insane in Cerebro 2. There's not a lot you can do to make this deck better, but a card that's 2 power and spits out a -4 is damn crazy. I'm counting the days until she has something happen, like a 3-card. I don't really know. I'm hoping she stays at 2. You're going to see she's like the true star and what I think really elevates the deck to even better meta proportions. We also have Negasonic, who the deck is not the best at priority, but is another defensive measure, and I definitely have played her in my Cerebro decks. And then lastly, in terms of tech cards, you can go with something like Rogue. Some other options that you might want to throw in that I tried today, especially with White Widow, is something like Beast, now that he's a 2/2, and you can, take a Brood back and get more of those, or White Widow. It's actually pretty damn cool. And then if you can do nothing, you at least have him for the 2 power. Definitely going to experiment with him more, and I encourage you guys to do the same. And Mr. Fantastic was an old classic in Cerebro decks, as well as Magic. Both of those not bad. I feel like Magic can be a give or take. Sometimes Magic can lose you the game. You give them too much time to stack power. So these are going to be the cards that I'm not like sold on putting in your decks, but again, they're options. And when it comes to our deck, Bro Widow today, oh crap, I forgot Nico. Okay, hold up. Nico Minoru, really good card too, kind of. She gives cards power. You want to be careful of that. Give it to Cerebro, but she can copy cards, and she's overall really good. Just avoid the demon. All right, back to the deck. Bro Widow. Now, as I was saying, the main purpose of the deck here is just to be playing our cards on curve when we can, looking out for our opponent's deck and cards they could play, as well as locations. This is definitely one of those decks you typically don't want to risk playing in an unknown location. This can definitely screw you at the end of it all. And really, the main strategy here is hang on to things like Shadow King and Electra, and then play offensive cards like White Widow, Brood, and Storm. Typically, the easiest ways to win with this deck is playing down Goose in a lane and playing a few cards like Mr. Sinister in there. And then storming is almost always a lane that you can win outside of a couple of decks that can reach into it. Playing Storm followed by Brood, which I don't always recommend, but that's definitely a possibility. Storm followed by simply just another 2-power card, and then throw Nightcrawler in there and move him in later. Or lastly, our newest combo in Storm and just playing White Widow. A lot of ways to win that lane, and the other one can happen with either Goose or Brood, and then you have your defensive options with something like Shadow King. This is the list that I've put together. Again, you can throw in different cards that you might feel, you M'Baku lovers, throw them on in here. But ultimately, this is the main part of the deck. Turns 1 through 4, you're going to be playing down just your 2-power cards. That makes sense. And then after that, you want to start unleashing the power-ups, right? Turn 5, you always want to play Blue Marvel if possible. You can go into Cerebro early if you don't have another play. Just always make sure he's the last card you play, just in case you top deck Mystique. And if all works out, you can either play Cerebro and Mystique together on turn 6, or if all works out and you play them early, you can always play your other defensive cards like Shadow King and Electra as well. All right, now no question, guys, the thing that's going to make you pull your hair out when playing the deck is going to be locations. There's a lot of them, and a ton of them are out to screw you. Now, I'm not talking about the negative zones or, maybe the +1. Those are obvious, all right? We're talking about the X Mansions, all right? Or maybe Monster Island, or just any of these locations like Tarnix that completely screw you and play a high-powered card that you obviously can't mess around with. By far the biggest downfall of Cerebro. Now, there are some cards that can do that your opponent can play. It's not a lot of them. I wouldn't worry about it. Gladiator, things like that. You're not going to come across that too much. Locations, I recommend studying these, because there's a ton that can screw you, and you're going to master them by the end of perfecting the deck. And that's pretty much it, guys, outside of like the power limits and knowing how high you can get a lane. Now, again, we're working with Cerebro 2. Very easy math, but essentially all of your 2-power cards have the potential, if everything goes right, to be 7 power in every lane. Typically 6, but it can get up to 7 if you play Blue Marvel, Cerebro, and Mystique, right? And so you want to do the quick calculations, but if you just play Cerebro, obviously they're all going to be 4 power, making it a 16-power location. Not bad, but you can bump this up to 24 power in a location. Even higher than that, 28. So really, you can beat out most decks in those locations. Don't commit too much to the Storm lane and just know your power limits. Play behind Goose when you can, and you should be good to go. That's pretty much all I got on Cerebro, but with White Widow, it definitely amps this up to the next level, and we're going to showcase that today. Let's jump into the battles. Alrighty here, so we got White Widow, Goose, Mr. Sinister, and Cerebro. Kind of everything we could possibly want here with a little holla to boot. Alright, so we have a Kitty Pryde deck. We're going to try to play the White Widow on their inevitable Angela. And let's go to kick this off. I'm trying to think if we want to go Goose, White Widow early. I don't think we want to play Nahala necessarily. Let's go ahead and play down White Widow here on this right side. Now, this was kind of like a little risky, but we should be fine. So long as this isn't Bar Sinister. Great Web is going to deactivate the Widow, but I think that's going to be okay. And this will allow us to have a copy of a card, which kind of coincidentally works out freaking perfectly. X-Mansion can drastically mess us up. So, like, I want to get multiple Cerebros, but we don't really know if we can even do that safely. Let's go ahead and play down... man, Goose loses some value too, huh? Let's go ahead and play down Mr. Sinister now. And then we're going to also play down Nico. We're going to fill this up right off the bat. And that way we don't have to worry about Great Web messing up any of our other placements and strategies. And odds are this is going to screw us up for the Cerebro. Oh my god, it didn't! What are the odds? Holy smokes, it's beautiful. Good god, I don't even know what to say. Well, now we can just play Cerebro down because we know we're going to get the copy there. Oh, yeah, we can't really play her, which is okay. Maybe we scope down the Kitty Pride later, but no, this is fine for now. We would probably snap here in most instances. All right. So we can still kill that this Snow Guard if we need to, but we're just gonna play. Oh my god, this is so sick. All right, let's go Mystique here, followed by Goose, and then we could just play. Oh, this is ridiculous. Because they probably think this is it. This is all they can really do. But we're set up. We're definitely going to go Shadow King in the mid to shut down Collector and Snow Guard back to the original. I mean, this is a game I would have to fumble pretty hard here. All right. That doesn't work that way. And so in their head, they're going to think that's the number they've got to beat, right? Is this 24, but they got to know. Maybe it would have been smarter to play Cerebro because they saw me get a copy, but I doubt they're tracking that. And here we go. So we could do a few things. We're going to go Cerebro now. I'm pretty sure this will win. We can't play Electra, but I'm pretty sure this ought to be enough to reset these two, bump this up a ton. We're looking good. I think they're out of here. Let's go. Victory. It's kind of crazy how many tools we have to win, and we didn't even get Brood or Storm. All right, we got Anarchy. Nowhere left side. We love that. If we can get our Cerebro. We're not going to do anything quite yet, though. Let's hope we get Storm. Maybe White Widow. Really make things difficult. Alla. Okay. All right. I'm thinking let's go Mr. Sinister now, and then we'll probably Storm that middle lane. Daredevil. And cloning vats. So because we have priority, we're going to shut down the cloning vats as fast as possible here. And then we have to be mindful of, obviously, a Pro X now. Wind, aid my hand. Okay. Ooh, I like the Negasonic play. I feel it. We can leave this alone. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to full sin. And if we die, we die. But I feel like we're going to have to go all in here. Yeah, we'll play them both. That's fine. Just make sure you can't kill anything. Yeah, let him have that lane. And we still have a chance to, take it ourselves. Super Giant. So yeah, we can beat that lane with the Cerebro. You can see exactly what we're doing. We can move the Nightcrawler over here. And just play the BM. I think we're going to keep things suspenseful. So we'll just play Blue Marvel. Let's go with this for now. What is he going to do? Oh, and we got the Cerebro. It's so beautiful. All right, we're going this and that. We don't play White Widow just because of how things lined up, but it is a thing of beauty. We could also go Mystique here to copy the Marvel, but no, we would definitely want to go with this. And I think we're set. Obviously, we don't know what that is, but we're not too worried about it here. Yeah, I think we ship it, guys. Maximus. Baron. Yeah, we're good. We're absolutely, positively good. It's just such a deceptively great deck. We didn't even get to use White Widow that time around. It doesn't really matter. Ronin, Prio, he was really hoping for Flooded. He had 22 on the lane, all good and dandy. We take it by a good amount. It's just a sneaky deck, and that's why Nightcrawler
Victory.
Also pretty important to be in the build. All right, well, we start things out losing our Mystique. Bummer. Doesn't tell him too much, though. We're going to hang on to Nico. And we have the Storm White Widow play. That's, you know, obviously really advantageous for what we're trying to do. This guy lost his Kitty Pride. I guess he's just shook on what to play. Alrighty, well, we're skipping to turn 2. He plays nothing. We have the Abby, White Widow. And, okay, well, let's not use that. We're going to go White Widow here. Play Storm to follow that up for sure. And we actually just gave him a free draw. Love to see it. However, we should be good to win this. Ooh, man. Couple things. We may not even storm that lane anymore because we know he's gonna, he's gonna max that out quickly. Because we have Prio, let's go ahead and cut off Aunt May's.
Wind, aid my hand.
We know he doesn't have Kitty Pride. We don't have to worry about that. We have our Cerebro now, and we don't want to give... we can give power to Cerebro. Yeah, this should be enough. And we've got Nico, Cerebro. Nightcrawler. All right, so we should be fine there. We're not worried about that. He does have a couple of things he can do with vision and whatnot. We have to look out, for those. But other than that, we're feeling pretty confident. We'll play down Blue Marvel now just because a lot of different options to win. Moves the Nightcrawler. Hope Summer's mid. And then Hulkbuster. Okay, so we just have to beat that in the middle. That's no problem. There's no one cost there. This should definitely be enough, and then we can throw this down for good measure. Yeah, I'm thinking we're pretty good to go, guys. Thinking we're pretty good. He might have Dr. Doom or something, but we're popping out just nothing but 5s. Another 5, another 5. Throw a 5 to the left. We got 20 power. 10. So much. Just so much power on C2. It's unreal, and we have the tech to do it. So another good win against the Kitty Pride Elsa deck. And of course, guys, as we start out the video, there's yet another location. That's a hot location, and wait for it. It's Screw Cerebro. So you can't make this up. It's just constant. Prepare to be screwed by a lot of locations. I'm not going to retreat all the time when we see these locations. It's going to happen. You just know it's part of playing Cerebro and hating yourself. All right, that being said, let's go to play down Nightcrawler first. We do have Storm, though, to shut down this location, so we're going to do just that. Dude, I can't believe as I'm releasing this is going to come out. This deck is going to do horrible over this hot location. Don't avoid it. Okay, White Widow, Nico, Shadow King. We don't want to play Nico now. White Widow actually is going to be pretty legit here. We're going to pump this down now and then play Storm. All right, probably the Kitty Pride Shuri deck and or Destroy. So I guess he's just playing that to get a Sentinel. Don't really know, but let's get our Storm down now left side. We also can change the location with Nico, kind of nice.
Wind, aid my hand.
Killmonger comes out, sad days. But he's just playing. He must have a garbage hand. He's just playing whatever he can, and have fun with that, dude. We can put Mr. Sinister down now. This will double this card's power. We don't want to do that. Probably really the only play we want to do here is Mr. Sinister. Wolverine. Okay.
Enough said, bub.
Good stuff. He can get back into there with the Wolverine, but that's okay. We can boost that up hopefully here in a second, or just use Nico. Looking at our... Man, we really don't have a lot going for us. Let's play Nico down right now. I'm thinking we might Shadow King. We might want to use this, but it could be useful to do this now. He goes first, though, and this could be a Venom, so we're going to actually just play that right away, and we're going to fill our hands with Sentinels. We're going to need ourselves Cerebro here to win. Most likely. Hopefully this Wolverine either lands back into Orcus or it lands to the right.
Enough said, bub.
Sure. All right, nice. We push that down, move over to the right there. And what do we have? We have Brood. We just do not have power here, guys. We are absolutely starving for power. 4, 6, 8. This is really the best we have going for us. I mean, this, if you don't get Cerebro, it can be pretty tough. This is what the games look like. We're going to play it out just to show you guys what happens if you don't get Cerebro. Maybe this guy just fumbles it, or he retreats and we win.
Victory.
So that's not getting Cerebro and having a lot of things, you know, not go hilariously right, but also somewhat with Wolverine and then, you know, telegraphing the Venom. Okay, White Widow, Cerebro, Nightcrawler, and Goose. Let's go ahead and play our Nightcrawler right away. Cool thing, too, is I would say Mr. Sinister is probably the biggest tell from the deck. Maybe Goose. God, Thunderbolt's Tower. What a joke. All right. We've got Goose now. We're going to need Storm if we, you know, don't want to get screwed here. So let's go ahead and... I mean, it doesn't screw us massively, but it does, you know, enough. Let's go and throw White Widow left side. This is going to force him to play over there. He's not going to want to. We don't want the Sentinel, but he's playing over there anyway. So what do I know? Daredevil? Okay, that's good. We definitely, you know, it's not insane, but it's definitely good. We're going to throw down Goose there because that's going to reap a lot of profit, and we're just going to play Goose. He's going to have to fill up Orcus Forge most likely, and we're spread out kind of nicely with Nightcrawler having to move in a couple turns here. Okay. Debris, we're fine with that. And now we can do the craziness of Cerebro, Nico into Mystique. We got a lot working for us here. Let's go Nico into Cerebro. We're going to get a Sentinel and Cerebro. That's fine with us. It's probably advantageous, though, to play Nico here and play Cerebro here. This is going to be our best bet. And then we can move Nightcrawler. The after turn 5 is going to screw us a bit, but that's okay. Yeah, this looks pretty good to us. Okay. Ravonna definitely makes this interesting. This is cool. He can see what we're doing. That's fine. He's going to probably try to Pro X or whatever. We're going to go here into here. And then what this does is this allows us to play Cerebro and Mystique next turn. And that should be plenty to win. Yeah, that ought to do it. I almost just want to snap here. Like, he's got a lot he can do, but I can assure you it's not more than what we can do. So we're going to storm this and then play an additional Cerebro Mystique. We're snapping into a Daredevil. If that's not confidence, I don't know what is. Okay, so he moves the Jeff.
Wind, aid my hand.
He plays a Nihilus. That only breaks the rock. Man, we're going to slaughter this guy. All right, so Cerebro into Mystique. We love to see it. About to boost these all up a good amount. We don't have a lot of power, but we're going to be able to boost up. And we got the dubs and the two cubes. So, again, definitely a good deck capable of beating a lot of them out there. My name's Jeff. 21 Jump Street. 22? Is it 22? I think it's 22. All right, Nightcrawler, Elektra. Let's go and get Nightcrawler out now. Wakana's a fine location. We got White Widow and Brood ready to rock. Ready to roll. Good old Thunderbolt's Tower being terrible. We can play White Widow there. You know what? Obviously, this is the synergy meant to be here. So we're going to throw down a White Widow now. Even though she could get the negative hit, it's okay. We can storm it as well. But that forces him to play cards there. And it could be rough on him. The Volt. All right. Do we want to get rid of the Volt or no? We want to keep that. We can Nico now, which is pretty cool. And then we don't have to worry about this. I think that's maybe what we do. But let's go ahead for now. Let's just go ahead and play Nico left side here. Do nothing else. Okay, he also hits us with the Widow's Kiss. And then there's our Storm. So yeah, we're gonna play Electra here. We're gonna hope this doesn't screw us too much. And then this only gives them... They really have to play here if they're gonna do anything. Hopefully this Electra location change isn't something that like Wakanda to give us +2. Anything like that. Well, man, that Brood though was gonna be
aid my
really nice on the Volt there, but we cannot do that anymore. I don't hate this. In fact, we know he's gonna play... Yo, we're just gonna win this. We know he's gonna play a Nihilist, so we're gonna go ahead and fill up the location. It's just gonna die. It's not gonna break. We're already winning this location. He can't play this. He might play a Nihilist here and kill this card, which would give him 8. Meaning we technically have to have Blue Marvel or Cerebro. We're just hoping we don't have any of the other stuff. He's snapping, that's fine. All right, so if I were to guess, it's obviously a Nihilist here in the middle. And we're going to gamble. We're taking a 50-50 gamble here. We're going to hope we get Cerebro or Blue Marvel. One of the two. There that is. $50-50. 50-50. Let's go. Let's freaking go. He's got to know it's Cerebro. I bet you I can just snap and not even risk it. I think we're going to win either way. We're going to snap. No. Let's just take the 4. Let's take the 4. Feels freaking great, guys. Obviously, Cerebro would have been even better, but we didn't need it. Didn't need it, and we got the fist bump. We'll give him one right back, and there you go. And that's going to be it, guys. My brain hurts, and we're done with Cerebro 2 today. Hopefully, you learned something new. If you haven't already, subscribe down below. 60% of you guys, I could do that math, have not subscribed. It would mean a ton. One click for you helps me out a ton as a creator if these guides are helpful. Anyway, guys, good luck out there. Till the next one. Happy snapping.